So, I personally didn't want to make this video. I did, but I didn't, because I was hoping a lot of the issues could be taken care of quietly and privately, and unfortunately, that could not happen. So, here we are now. Basically, what brought us to this point was a couple months ago in May, I came to one of my roommates, Sue, and I let her know what was going on. At the time, her fiance for months on end had been sexually harassing and borderline assaulting me for, months on end. And I had reached my breaking point and I could not take it anymore, and I let her know what was going on. I gave her a rough timeline and I sugarcoated it to make it more palatable and easier for her to digest and deal with, because this is hard to take in. I know. However, that was May. We are now August 22nd, and the drama still continues. I am constantly hearing from multiple people how I fabricated all these lies, I planted evidence, and all these things, and I want to sit down and I want to set the record straight and make it very clear what happened and say my side of the story and say my piece, because for the longest time I was being very mindful who I was talking to about what had happened and what was going on, because I want Sue and Kevin to, for lack of better terms, come to terms with what happened and, just go from there. I personally wasn't trying to out anyone. I wasn't trying to slander anyone's name. I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just saying, here's what happens, here's the facts, let's keep moving. Unfortunately, that's not what happened in the end. So here we are. So we'll just start at the very beginning when I first met Kevin. The very first day I met Kevin, it was November 2022. I don't remember the exact date, but that's when I had only been dating Mike for about a week or so, maybe two, and I met the entire friend group. Almost all parties involved, who are affiliated or connected in some way. So I met officially Kevin. I met Dustin, Amanda, Andrew, Pickle, aka Chris. I met damn near everyone. The only people I did not meet that night was Sue and Chris. Chris is Sue's sister. There's technically two Chris's in the friend group. I did not meet them that night. However, when I met Kevin, he would pretty much constantly, belittle me and talk to me as though I was an idiot, as though I was beneath him, for random, unnecessary reasons. Some ranging from, I'm not a hardcore Pokemon player. It's a kid's game. I just want to play it to have fun and relax. I'm not out here trying to be the best of them all. I'm just playing a game to relax. Or because I don't play Dark Souls games or Soulsborne games, but I know so much about the lore. I know my skill set. I am not a good gamer. I don't try to be. I don't claim to be. But he was already day one pretty much telling me I'm an idiot. I'm beneath him. Later on, come January, that's when I officially knew the four of us were going to live together. So that was January 23. I knew the four of us were all going to live together, the four of us being me, Mike, my boyfriend, Kevin, and Sue. At that point, we just needed to know when, because we were waiting on Cindy, Mike's mother, her house to be finalized so she could move in. Because at the time, the place we were going to, the three of us were going to move into, was being rented by Mike and his mom. Cool. So we were just waiting, but we were trying to get more acquainted. We've hung out a few times. We went to lunch and then bowling and this, that, and the other. And I was just making it very clear, like, I'm trying to be nice to them, despite Kevin constantly treating me as though I was beneath him. I was, in his mind, an idiot. I was not smart enough. I wasn't good enough at anything. And it was these constant underhanded digs. Because one of them was because I never finished my bachelor's degree in psychology the first time. Well, I didn't finish it because, well, I was sexually assaulted. I wasn't able to stay there at college because I wasn't in the right headspace. I am currently now working on completing my bachelor's, then going on my master's and everything now. But because I didn't have my degree, in his mind, I'm not educated in psychology, therefore I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just a poser. I'm a fake, blah, da, 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 da. And it was very annoying, and it got ridiculous after a while because, granted, yes, I understand I'm not licensed. I may not be the most knowledgeable degree-wise because there's so many classes and everything I never finished, but at the same point, I know enough to where I can give a basic opinion on certain topics. But I also never claimed to be an expert. And this was just a common thread that would go on. And one thing he would always do was people were always beneath him in his eyes. He would always treat people as though they were beneath him, and if it did not benefit him, he didn't give it to him. He ignored you and treated you as though you were trash. By April of 23, the four of us were finally living together. That same month later on, my grandmother passed. Mike and I have been visiting her once, maybe twice a week for months on end, keeping her company and everything. So Mike and I were, obviously I was very well, close. I was very close to her. Mike started getting close to her as well. And when she passed, it was hard on us. Kevin saw us grieving as an inconvenience because it didn't benefit him. We weren't happy, emotional, and cheerful 24/7. We weren't ready to play card games all the time. We weren't ready to have people over all the time. We weren't, doing everything all the time. We were grieving. Someone close to us just died. So this is right here. I want you guys to keep this in mind. This paints a picture of who he was and who he is. Let's flash forward to now August 2023. This is where everything really ramps up. It went from him constantly belittling me to now basically sexually harassing me to a new level. August 23, beginning of the month, Sue went away for a Pokemon tournament to Pittsburgh. Sue was gone from, I believe, Friday through Sunday, Monday, give or take. In that time, I was also writing a D&D campaign because I want to, be a DM. I want to try it out. Kevin was struggling. He was sad because Sue's gone. He hates when he's left alone without her. I was like, you know what? Despite all the shit he said to me, I will try and be nice. I will try and extend an olive branch and be kind to him despite everything he said and done to me. Because in between, he's, again, been constantly belittling me. He would not help out around the house. He was every other day threatening to leave and move out because we were asking him to help. We were asking him to clean. We were asking him to do anything. Lock the doors when you go to bed. Make sure the lights are off. Hey, we have wax warmers on. make sure those are off when you go to sleep. If we were do anything to remind him, like, hey, you're an adult, act it, he would freak out and threaten to move out and leave and basically say, fuck you, you're not in charge of me, and this, that, and the other. And this would just constantly happen. But again, August, I decided I'll be nice. At the time, Dustin and Amanda were over. Kevin was on his PlayStation playing Demon Souls, because I told him, hey, by the way, this is on there, why don't you play it, because he's never played it before. Dustin and Amanda came over. I'm talking to them. I'm sitting in the archway between the living room and the kitchen area. And Kevin's not looking at my face when I'm having a conversation, because I'm standing. He's on the couch. He's staring at my chest, my boobs, and my crotch the entire time. And this is like a 15-minute conversation. He's doing this in front of Dustin and Amanda. And at one point, I go back to the bedroom because I was weirded out, but whatever. They left. I grab my laptop. I come out to the living room and just go work on my D&D campaign and keep him company while he's playing the game. After a while, Dustin and Amanda officially left, like, because they went away, got food, came back, then they left again because work or something. I forget. Mike had just come home from the card shop, so now Mike's home. So it's 3 of us home now. I am still keeping Kevin company out in the living room. We put YouTube videos on, and I think it was like Mandela Catalog, something like that. And at one point, Kevin's no longer watching the TV. He's staring at me, jerking off. Mind you, Mike, my boyfriend, is in the house, in the bedroom, right down the hallway. He's a light sleeper for like the first hour or so. So at any minute, he could have walked down the hallway to go use the bathroom and seen that. Kevin clearly did not care. And that was the very first night Sue had left. The next time that happened, we went to Crabtown. The whole gang. We all went to Crabtown. It was like a little arcade, food thing, whatever. We did that. Came home. Again, we watched more Mandela Catalog, I think. I think that's what it's called. And same thing. Mike goes to the bedroom at some point. Kevin's there just jerking off, staring at me. And the first thing I want to say, the reason I never mentioned this right away in the very beginning, one was primarily I'm new to the friend group. At that point, Mike and I have only been dating for maybe 10 months, so I was still fairly new to the entire friend group. No one truly knew who I was. No one truly knew much about me, anything at all. So the last thing I wanted was, oh, hey, let me tell you guys all this shit of like, he's doing something heinous, because who was going to believe me? I mean, as I said, I was sexually assaulted before, multiple times. And every time I would mention it or report it or anything, I was constantly called a liar. I was called, horrible things, basically saying I was making something up to hurt a wonderful, upstanding man's life and his future and potential. And it just kind of all came back to me, and I just said, I'm just going to keep quiet, maybe it's just a one-time thing, maybe it won't happen anymore, and that was a lie. It continued, and it just kept getting progressively worse, and yes, part of me wishes I said something sooner, but at the same point, I still feel we would be in the same situation we're in now, where I have to sit down and make this video to, clear my name of, hey, by the way, this happened. And I know someone's still going to probably say I'm lying because I'm not emotional. I'm not sad. I'm angry. I'm angry about the fact that I have to sit down. I have to make this video and I have to clear my name. Because I have to, talk about the fact of, hey, Kevin and Sue are calling me a liar and saying, oh, the reason Kevin left was because, we couldn't deal with him anymore, or we fabricated this and all these lies because he wouldn't clean, and that's a lie. I could literally go into the group chat from the house where it was the four of us and show as early as them moving in, he was already threatening to move out. I know he threatened it in October. He threatened it in August. He was threatening it all the damn time. Beginning of this year, January, he was threatening to move out because we asked him to clean his computer desk. So I can easily debunk that. And again, I just hate the fact that I'm in this situation where I have to sit down and say this. But again, that was August. Let's go to October. November. Actually, no, we'll flash forward to end of November, early October. That's where the next big thing happened. Mind you, everything in between, it was just me constantly, every time I go from the bedroom to the kitchen to refill my water jug or whatever, he would just constantly be at his computer desk just jerking off. The main reason I could never, be out there forever or any time at all was because on his computer he would constantly have porn. His background was always something pornographic in some way, shape, or form. Granted, he would say, well, it's an anime character or it's a video game character. It was still pornographic, and some of it was very questionable. I know at one point he had Tails from Sonic Adventures. Hey, Tails is canonically 8 years old. Why do you have a canonically 8-year-old video game character in BDSM gear getting fucked? But he doesn't want to acknowledge that either. But it made it very uncomfortable, and I mentioned it before to Sue that, hey, Kevin's jerking off out there. Or I said, it sounds like he's jerking off out there. Just because I wanted to plant the seed of, hey, this is going on potentially. And she's like, he would never do that. He's a good person. He would never. He has morals. And I've caught him. I've walked from, again, my bedroom to the kitchen, and I've seen him jerking off multiple times. I've been out there doing dishes, which is why I stopped after a while, because I was tired of it. He would comment on my ass. He would basically say, you have such a nice ass when you go let me fuck you and shit. And I couldn't take it anymore. So I just stopped. I basically, whenever people were home, I lived in the bedroom. He would come home, in the bedroom. Doors closed. I'll say, I mind, you don't see me. But come November, end of November, early December, we had a Friendsgiving get-together. We had the entire friend group over. So it was, again, Pickle, Andrew, Chris, Sue's sister, Dustin, Amanda, we had one of my friends, Brian, we had everyone over. We were having drinks, eating food, playing Jackbox games, playing card games, everything in between. We were just having fun. Because that's the whole point of it. We wanted to get together, have fun. I was, again, just faking it. He wasn't doing any of this shit to me prior. I'm just trying to act like, he's a great person. At one point, I go out to the kitchen. Because, I was designated bartender for everyone, so I'm making everyone's drinks. At one point, Kevin came out there, and he came up next to me. He didn't touch me. He didn't do anything like that, but he did say, when are we going to fuck? When are you going to let me fuck you? Because you want this. And I want to make one thing abundantly clear, because apparently my character's been put into question as well. I am many things. I am a reformed whore. I am, you could call me a horrible person, this, that, and the other. I've dated many horrible looking people. I don't want to sleep with someone who looks like Chicken Little, right? And you could say that's me, whatever. I don't care. You want to call me a villain, I will be the villain, because I'm tired of this mess. I did not want to sleep with Kevin. I was not leading him on, and I was not, trying to seduce him. Let's make this very, very clear. Because by this point, I was wearing sweatpants, baggy as hell, and a sweatshirt all the damn time, because I wanted him to not see what my body looked like. I was depressed all the time. I was eating all the time. I was suicidal 24/7 because I did not feel comfortable in the house I lived in, because I had to live in one bedroom. I wasn't able to really go out and about the house because of him. And again, that night he approached me and just said that, mind you, everyone's literally in the kitchen, in the living room. They're like literally on the other side of a wall. Brian was maybe a few feet behind us in the archway. So all he had to do was just turn his head like this. Like that. And he would have seen Kevin. If Brian just had slightly better hearing, he would have heard it. Kevin doesn't whisper. He kind of yells a lot. So anyone with slightly good hearing could have heard it. And that happened. Come Christmas, in the Christmas morning, I go help my parents. I help my mom get the turkey together. Make sure food, everything's ready to go, table set, Come home. I get ready. I get my decent clothes on, make sure we have all the presents packed, whatever. We leave. We go to my parents' house for Christmas gift exchange and early lunch at that point. Mainly because Mike and I had another Christmas dinner to attend with his parents. So when we get back, it's close to about, we'll say 3, give or take. Kevin was still home because he hadn't left yet. I think he was going to leave for his family's get together. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But Mike was in the bathroom. Kevin mentioned, by the way, I have a Christmas gift for you. I put it in your bedroom. It's in your nightstand. It's an extra surprise. Part of me was scared, but at the same point, I didn't know what to expect, because he did get me 2 actual gifts. 2 t-shirts. One was Dark Souls 1, Slayer's logo, sigil. And then the other was Ludwig from Bloodborne. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it won't be something bad. Open the drawer. What do I see? There's a pair of his cum-stained boxers right there. And I did not touch it. I just closed the drawer and I ignored it. That was in, again, my nightstand drawer. So that means at some point in time, while Mike and I were gone, he went in our bedroom and he put that in my nightstand. So part of me felt violated, not just because, one, that's there, but he's going in and around our room whenever he wants. And Mike and I don't do that to them. We don't go through their room. They keep their bedroom door closed. They kept their bedroom door closed all the damn time. We never went in there. unless, something serious was going on. They asked us to, or landlords, anything. But that's when I just start to get way more uncomfortable. January 1st comes, we have our New Year's Day kind of get together. It wasn't many people. It was really just like 5 of us. Again, me, Kevin, Chris, Sue, Mike. We all get together. We're drinking, playing Jackbox games, just having fun. And basically what happened, once everyone was done, like wrapping up, whatever, Kevin comes out of the bedroom in his underwear. Mind you, Chris is still here. Chris is Sue's sister. She is still here because she's going to spend the night. She's going to sleep on the couch because we didn't have an extra bed. And she's still awake. I'm still awake. But he comes out of the bedroom in his underwear because he was going to work on his diabetes pump, his insulin pump. And so he's going to go to his desk. He's going to work on that, whatever. He's at his desk, just pulls his stick out and starts jerking off. I'm in the archway. Again, Chris is sitting down on the couch. I'm having to stand there and talk to her for a little bit, so she did not get up and have to see that. But again, he wouldn't do that. He's a good person. And January 5th comes, so a few days later, Mike goes out to a football game with one of his good friends that he's known fucking forever, Elliot. They go to a football game. I think Sue is out at a card shop or something. I don't remember. Oh, she could have been working for all I know. Kevin was going to later on go out that night with and hang out with Dustin, Zach, Amanda, play Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that shit. I have the door open because at that point I will soon be going into my second college term. I have the door open so I can hear my coffee being made, so that way I can, when it's done, I can hear it, run out, fix my cup, sugar, creamer, all that shit, run back to the room, do whatever. Have my laptop on the bed, looking at the syllabus for the upcoming term, because the term starts on January 8th. And Kevin comes out, walks through the bathroom. He's clothed. Cool. But at some point, he walks back from the bathroom butt-ass naked. Now, one thing I want to say is, in the message I sent to Sue originally, I said he had his towel just barely covering his crotch. That is not what happened. He was butt-ass naked. I saw everything. Now, again, why didn't I tell anyone? I did tell Mike. At that point, this is what happened. But I also begged him to please stay calm. Because I knew he was angry. And I knew he was going to probably kill Kevin. Because this was ridiculous. Now, prior to all this going on and getting to that point, Mike had already had, per my request, multiple conversations with Kevin saying, stop the sexual harassment. You are doing this to me. You are doing this to Marilyn. Please stop. He didn't, because he didn't care. Because Kevin's one of those people where he feels the world revolves around him. And if it doesn't revolve around him, and if he doesn't get his way, he's not happy. So he just kept doing what he wanted to do. So again, January 5th, he did that. And that's also around the same time I noticed a lot of my bras and underwear and lingerie and shit was disappearing. Some would one week it would be there, next week it wouldn't, and it would just keep cycling and shit would change. And to this day, I'm still missing a lot. But no one wants to tell me where it is or what happened to it because, again, they are saying I'm a liar. And say I'm making everything up because they don't care. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping around a lot. It's just this is a lot to remember because this is stuff that was happening from, for almost a year. This is behavior that was going on for almost a year. And I personally can't take it anymore. But as time went on, Kevin would constantly he'd call off work every so often. And at the time, I didn't have a job, which at the time wasn't that big a deal because I was a full-time college student. I'm working on getting my degree in psychology. I'm working on, bettering myself. So at the time, Mike, Kevin, Sue, they weren't that upset about me not having a job. And I have the text messages to prove it. So I can share those if I have to. But Kevin would call out often, and obviously it'd just be him and I home. And again, I'd have to hide in the bedroom because he would, for the longest time in the beginning, he would walk around in just his underwear. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that man in his underwear. I'm not interested in the slightest. But he would do that. So I'd have to, again, hide in the bedroom more. And eventually, we got a round table. And for the longest time, that's what I was using as, my college desk. I got a second monitor with my tax refund money. And we got the round table from Mike's aunt. We put it in the dining room. I was working there. And the very first day I got it, I had everything set up. I had the monitor set up, I had the table set up, cleaned, the whole 9 yards. I go to get up from my desk, we'll get up from the table. Kevin's not that far away from me. He reaches over and slaps my ass. Mind you, Mike is in the living room watching YouTube. Sue is in the bathroom, so on the other side of the wall next to me, where the table was. Sue is in the bathroom getting a shower. So everyone is home. But Kevin slapped my ass. That was March of this year. And he just never stopped. So anytime he could, from then on, he would try and slap my ass. He would try and grab my ass. He would, constantly keep saying, when are we going to fuck? You want to. You want this. I would give you the best time of your life. Blah, blah, blah. I just mentally couldn't take it anymore. And from March to May, there was a point where I was constantly debating suicide because I didn't feel safe. And I figured I'd rather be dead than talk about this. I'd rather be dead than tell anyone because I was tired of being called a liar. I was tired of being told, you're making this up. No one, whatever. Because again, I am a sexual assault victim. I've reported it before, and I've been called a liar. I've been called so many horrible, heinous things, and I didn't want to go through it again. And Kevin's behavior kept getting worse to a point where there would be, when I was home, because he was calling out again, April on, almost 2-3 times a week. So, and at that point, he was just walking around the house butt fucking naked. So I would have, until Mike came home from work, I would have the dresser in front of the door. Kevin would then go outside 11 a.m. to check the mail. Mind you, mail doesn't get delivered for us until anywhere between 2 and 3. But he'd be going outside to look through my window, look through our bedroom window at me. So, I mean, it was a lot. And I couldn't take it. And there was a point I was questioning, I should just pack my shit up and move. And I was going to move to my college campus, live there, delete everyone, block everyone, just disappear. Because I couldn't take it. I was angry all the time. I was stressed all the time. I was scared. Because I didn't know what the next step was. I'm not saying he would rape me, but at the same point, I didn't know. You don't know what's going to happen. I truly didn't know. I mean, every so often, again, that pair of underwear on my nightstand was changing every month. So, I mean, every month, randomly, when Mike and I aren't home, he's changing that pair of underwear out. Near the very end, like the day before, I told everyone what happened, which, let me say, when I made it clear. I'm sorry, it was June. I said everything in June. June 15th. June 15th was when I sent a message to Sue and I gave her the basic timeline, kind of like this. And I couldn't take it anymore. But at that point, before I sent the message, I did the one thing I wish I didn't want to do, was I went into their room because I knew I was missing bras and underwear. And I was praying to God they weren't in there, but I found some. And they were in his nightstand, underneath like his Dexcoms and everything, underneath some of his mail. Like they were half-assed hidden. And part of me wonders how long they were there. And I know Sue wants to say, it was planted. I don't care. You can say they're planted all you want. That doesn't hide the fact of, I have witnesses. Mike is a witness to some of the horrible shit Kevin has done to me. But I can't. I know I keep saying I couldn't take it anymore, but here we are. I messaged Sue prior on I messaged Sue back in July before I think the day she moved out, which was July 20th. I just wanted to clear the air, and I said I wanted to talk to her about everything. I wanted to, discuss what's going on. Why do you hate me? Do you not hate me? Like, why are you treating me like I'm a villain? Why am I being told from other people that you have a problem with me, but you can't say this to me? Mind you, Kevin and Sue are both damn near 40. I am 28. I'm going to be 29 soon. So I'm having to be the mature one in the situation. Again, that's why I kept everything private. Because I wanted to, work everything out amicably. Like, behind closed doors. Let's figure everything out. And that couldn't happen because they didn't want to. They didn't want it to happen. They didn't want to work everything out. They wanted to just believe what they believe, which is I'm a horrible person. I'm a liar. I made this up to, screw Kevin over because I have some ulterior motives. But no one can answer the one question I have. Why would I lie? What do I gain by lying? I messaged Sue last night. I sent this message around 10:30 last night to try and clear the air. And I literally asked her, what do we gain by lying? Because she is saying Mike, Chris, and I are lying. Because Sue's not talking to her sister anymore either. Because she thinks we made this all up. Because we all just want to randomly hate Kevin. And no one wants to tell me why. And so I'm making this horribly long, rambling video about everything to just kind of put out there. I have nothing to gain by lying. And I know my body language may not, read that as someone who's hurt or, a victim. Again, I'm angry. I'm angry about the fact that from June to now, it's been nothing but drama. From June to now, I've been called a liar. I've been called a cheat. I've been told Chris and Sue told me not Sue. Chris and Kevin are apparently talking shit about me behind our backs, telling them landlords made up stories, telling my friends and other people. I'm tired. So I want to sit down. I want to make this video. And I want to clear the air. I want to dead the issue. Because we are adults, so we need to act like adults. And I know Kevin and Sue are going to have an issue with this because I did not change their name for this, but I don't care. You did something horrible. You did a lot of horrible things to me. And I can't sit by and tolerate it anymore. So this is just me putting it out there. And that's that. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I'm hurt. I'm angry. And I'm stressed. Because I don't want this to continue. I don't want Kevin and Sue to continue to tell these half-truths. Because they don't want to say what happened. They don't want to acknowledge what happened. They just want to live in this delusional fantasy of, oh, nothing occurred, whatever, You could say you can call me many, many things. But in this instance, I am not a liar. Because I have nothing to gain by lying. Kevin moved out. We struggled to pay rent. Sue, you moved out because you lost your job. Not what you told the landlords. You told the landlords you moved out because you didn't want to deal with us. And you didn't want to be the only one paying for everything. You lost your job and couldn't afford it. You moved out because your aunt said she would pay off your debt if you moved in with your grandmother to take care of her. You said you weren't talking to Kevin anymore, but you still were. That's why you and him are back together again. Despite everything I have said. Despite all the evidence given to you. So, I hope after this video, I no longer hear about this issue. And it's over. I have not blocked you, Sue. I have not blocked you, Kevin. And I know I will never hear from you in terms of an apology. And I don't expect one. I just expect you guys to stop. That's it.